Now, God gave us 2 ears and 1 mouth. And one of the things that we have to learn within sales is 90% of salespeople do not listen to their customers. They don't. They hear what their customers are saying, but it's as if there is a freeway. It's like a freeway going through there. They don't listen. And we need to listen. I have a friend of mine, his name is Jack. He is the CEO of a Fortune 500 company in New York. And Jack is known in the business, especially in New York and amongst all his staff, as one of the best listeners in the business. Every time he picks up the phone, he closes his eyes. Why? To just totally focus on the phone call, nothing else. The only time he doesn't do that is when he's driving. Now, the thing to note though, all right, the thing to note though is that the policeman knew he was talking to a kid. Why didn't he just put down the phone? It could be, but he knew after a while. First he thought it was the mouth, then he said math. He figured out, but he went on, he said, okay, what's the problem? 16 minus, he's helping the kid. Why? He's going that extra bit further. All right? He's listening. It doesn't take a lot to get your customers, to get your potential customers to love you and your product and your services, if you only try. There are 5 types of listening. They say ignoring, pretending, selective, attentive, empathetic. My grandfather used to say that you can never wake up a man who is pretending to sleep. Now you laugh, but all of us do this. We have selective hearing. We hear what we want to hear. And that's a problem. I went into a sales call with a colleague of mine. We did a presentation, and the customer gave us instant feedback. And I listened, and I took down exactly what I knew we had to change in order to get the business, and we walked out of the room. Now, we were in the same presentation. Both of us were in exactly the same room, heard exactly the same thing. My colleague walks out, and he says, "Hey, Les, I think we got the business." And I look at him and I go, "What planet are you from?" I said, "Were you in the same room with me?" He said, "Yeah, they love everything." I said, "You kidding? we've got to do a complete rewrite of the proposal because he was identifying this that was not there. We won't get the business without rewriting the proposal. He wasn't listening. Now, he's a very positive guy, but he's over-positive to the point where he doesn't hear what is being said. And that is something that's very important in sales. Now, we're living in a world that is becoming smaller and smaller and smaller. In this room itself, we've got nationalities and races of different countries. All right? And language is a problem. For some of you, French is your first language, correct? But if you're selling to somebody where English is their first language, even though you know and speak English well, okay, you've got to realize that if it's your second language, or if the person you're talking to is their second language, they're not going to be able to take it at the same speed. Most of us have to learn to tune our radio station to WIFM, all right? And that's the station that our customers have it. They're all the time asking when you're selling to them, what's in it for me? Why should I buy from you? Why should I buy your product, your services? That's what they're asking.
There's amazing people, that's good. In Chinese? Check the bigger last name. That's it. That's who can't do business together. Chinese people and Indian people cannot do business together. Because Indians cannot live without a bargain and Chinese people cannot get through a bargain. Their objective is to get every penny from you, and not just to keep every penny. There's a really bad power struggle there. I went to this Chinese mall. Some of you may know Pacific Mall. That's the wrong place for Indian guy to go. I saw this bag. I wanted to buy this bag. I go, how much? I go to Chinese guy. How much? He goes, $35. How about 30? And Chinese people will never tell you no. They'll tell you no the longest no you've ever heard in your life. Like you just said the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in your life. I'll give you 30. No. No. I can't do $30. I tell you $40 today, you come tomorrow, I'll close down. I'm like, all right, well, give me a deal on the purse, man. I want to pay $35. Okay, one second. I talked to my wife. One second. Thank you. I'm like, you seem like that guy. I'll give you best price. $34.50. I'm like, that's 50 cents, man. She goes, 50 cents a lot of money. You say 50 cents here, then maybe you go somewhere else, you save another 50 cents. Then you have $1. Then you take your dollar, you go to the dollar store, you buy something else.
You all know Russell Peters? My cousin. No, I'm serious. You all know Russell Peters, right? The most downloaded comedian in the world. He's my cousin. No. All Indians are cousins. Body language, all right? What you all doing at the start of this session. They say that nonverbal signals are said to be 4.5 times as effective as verbal signals. All right? What we do, all right, and facial expressions 8 times more powerful than the words used. I mean, if I was to go up to Stephanie and say, do you know that I really, really love you? Do you feel loved? Of course not. Or if I went up to, what's your name? Bunwa. If I went up to Bunwa and I said, I really, really hate you. Do you feel hated? The room number again is 1. All right? At the end of the day, all right? Verbal, non-verbal signals, much more important. What's that French word for threesome?